Articuno blessed an abandoned Fletchling egg so it could survive the dead of winter. When it hatched, it was distinct from any other Pokemon. For its design, I took features from Fletchinder and Articuno. Anything I got from the latter was simplified, so the fusion didn't look too cobbled together, with certain parts being super mature and complicated, with the rest being very simple. Combining their color schemes to get black, white, red, blue, and yellow happens to work out really nicely and is part of why I picked Articuno over Zapdos or Moltres. Articuno is also the only one with normal wings, so it's easier to fuse their design with Fletchling. I tried to make it look kinda mystical, but also kinda cute. Here's the final art. Fletchliune is an Ice-Fire type Pokemon with a signature ability called Gale Cloak. It adds flying to its typing and makes the Pokemon immune to rock type moves and their effects, including Stealth Rocks. Its only weaknesses are water and electric, and it has immunities to rock and ground on top of resistances to grass, ice, and bug. Fletchliune also has a signature move called Thermal Supercharge. It's a super powerful ice type move that becomes fire type if it would do more damage, though it can't be used twice in a row. All this might sound incredible, but it's balanced out by Fletchliune's abysmal stats. This Pokemon would be lucky to beat the ZU allegations. While it's not great in the competitive landscape, it's well respected among wild Pokemon. Its ability to harness both ice and fire type moves give it great utility in any landscape, so it travels far from pole to pole and back, helping wild Pokemon in need. Fletchliune has been seen in cold areas warming up wild Pokemon and defending them from avalanches, and in warm areas cooling them down and defending them from wildfires. While this Pokemon has been seen across the world, it's always solitary and rare enough that there's no confirmation that there might be more than one. Ho-Oh has hit rock bottom. Literally. This resulted in an egg that hatched into a mystical but unwanted bird Pokemon. For its design, I went mostly Archen, but with obvious Ho-Oh elements and colors. It'll evolve to be a powerful legendary, but for now it's still quite the menace. I really wanted to do Ho-Oh's golden tail justice as a tail fan at the end of this Pokemon's tail, so I hope that worked out. Honestly, not sure how to make that sentence make sense without saying tail 3 times. Anyway, I gave it a more complicated Ho-Oh like eye rather than the simple black dot on Archen to kinda show that this guy is messed up. He's simple and cute, but also you can tell something's up. He's got god blood. Here's the final art. Ar-Chen is a flying type Pokemon with a signature ability called Benchwarmer. It halves Ar-Chen's attacking stats when its HP is below half, but also heals Ar-Chen by 10% each turn it's not on the field, up to a total healing of 50% per battle. Hopefully you understood that. It's a bit of a complicated ability. Basically, one half of it is Defeatist, while the other half is like Regenerator, but slow. It has a strong signature move called Sacred Origin that has a high chance to burn. The type changes with terrain, but it's usually normal type. Ar-Chen has a similar theme to Fletchliune in that it's got cool abilities and moves with awful stats, though Ar-Chen is a bit more balanced. Just a bit. I could see it in low tiers wearing heavy-duty boots with Pincurchin or Wheezing, and getting some pretty strong attacks off and healing a bit from its ability before it inevitably dies or becomes weakened from its low speed and bulk. I might run Brave Bird, U-Turn, Sacred Origin, and Roost, or Agility. It might be okay in lower tiers, but it also might have trouble escaping the ZU allegations. We'll have to see if it evolves so it can increase its potential. Ar-Chen can be found rarely in a forest near Sinjo. It seems to be a bit of a loner, and it doesn't really interact with other Pokemon apart from the ones it feeds on. Its favorite foods are Caterpie and Spinarak, but it's been seen hunting and eating Rattata and Pidgey from time to time as well. It often gets attacked by larger Pokemon and flies to roost in different parts of the forest. It occasionally will fight back, and some say it's storing up XP to someday evolve and overpower its father. 100 years ago, a legendary Pokemon gave its life saving 5 human children from a burning building. A rainbow Pokemon took pity on it and revived it with its sacred ash. For its design, I gave it the stripes and mane of an Arcanine with the face and spikes of Entei. I also tried to merge some features like the fluffy tail of Arcanine and Entei's smoky smoke thing. I don't know what that is. I designed it as if Arcanine was replacing Flareon in as the original revived Pokemon, if we're really believing that lore theory. I don't know if I do, I don't, but it was a fun exercise in character design and stat calculations. Yeah, its stats will look a little weird, but it's loosely based on some math with Flareon and Arcanine applied to Entei. I'm not going to get into it, but if anyone's curious, I could reply in a comment. I possibly went too hard on this design, but I was having fun, so it's okay. Here's the final art. Entei's legendary form is a fire-type Pokemon with the ability Pressure. It has a signature move called Legend's Roar, which is like Extreme Speed but fire-type, special, and sound-based. Legend's Roar being special stops it from being too insane on Entei, but it's still pretty nice with Eruption and Calm Mind being a thing. Its base stat total is equal to Kyurem's, but this Pokemon might be better since it's not an Ice type and is fast. It gets good stuff like Morning Sun and Will-O-Wisp for a defensive build, but also wacky offensive moves like the one I mentioned earlier, but also Flare Blitz and Close Combat. Entei's main strength is versatility, and it might get banned for any or all of its viable sets. Probably an Uber's Pokemon, but at least it's not so crazy that it would be good there. Maybe alongside some sort of Sun team it could be good with that specially offensive set. Eruption is pretty crazy with 130 base speed, even with mediocre special attack. Its ability definitely helps defensive sets the most, and its HP is fantastic, so that could also find use. Entei's legendary form uses its second chance at lives to help people, and it seems to be especially quick at stopping fires. It dislikes violence and rarely fights people or Pokemon, preferring to run away from conflict. That's all I got for this video. You can subscribe to my Patreon for $1 a month to support me and get your name at the end of my videos. Thanks to Captain Kobop, Art of Dying, and Mr. Kill, and thank you for watching.